Mr. Adicott, would you care to respond? Or?
I'd love to have the debate another time. I'm totally opposed to the International Criminal Court for a variety of reasons. But part of the problem is definitional, I suppose, and that's part of the issue. That's why military commissions are recognized because of the exigencies of warfare, that you don't have, the government is given lower standards to prove their case. Now, again, you may not like it, but is it illegal? No, it's not illegal. In a military commission, you cannot be forced to testify against yourself, so that if you look at the military commission rules, really they mirror, they far exceed, in my opinion, the International Criminal Court or most of our European brethren in their normal domestic criminal courts. But back to the definitional issue, I suppose, just as a side note, we tried to, probably the best thing that Kofi Annan ever tried to do was he tried to propose an international definition of terrorism, because as lawyers, you've got to define what you're talking about. Then you would have circular reason. If you can't define what you're talking about, you just go around and around and around. Do we have an internationally accepted definition of terrorism? No. So we use that word terrorism like torture. It rolls off the tongue really easily. My students say often, "Oh, you're torturing me," and you put me in a room for 5 minutes with rap music, I think I'm being tortured. But, but as far as having a standard in defining terrorism, Kofi had a great definition. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, he said, if you use violence intentionally towards civilians for the purpose of intimidating a government or an international organization to do or refrain from doing a particular act, you're a terrorist. Notice what he left out, the cause. He didn't care about your cause. If you use violence against civilians, you're a terrorist. The 56-member Islamic Council refused to sign on to that definition, so we don't have an international definition because they wanted an exception for wars of national liberation. Remember that old term from the Soviet Union? In other words, if our cause is just, we can slaughter civilians. So we don't have an internationally accepted definition of terrorism. Therefore, a fortiori, we're not going to develop new rules to deal with the Al-Qaeda-style network. So we're having to do it ourselves. And remember I said, we've got the Al-Qaeda here, the new phenomenon, the rule of law associated with warfare looks like this. We're making it up ourselves. The international community is not going to do it. If they can't agree on even defining the term, how can they go to the next step and develop new rules to deal with it? They can't.
Well, I know we'd all love to be here for the rest of the day to discuss this, but we've already gone over time. So at this point, I'm going to ask Devin to come up just to give some
one final comment?
Very briefly.
Please. Final comment? Okay, final comment in a slightly different direction. So, you've heard the discussion and the debate. I'm sure you're going to continue in your own minds. But if you have any concerns about what President Obama is doing and if he's not following through in some way that you thought he should have followed through, one really good thing that you could do would be to join the ACLU. Because we are one of the main organizations in the country that is pressing President Obama to do the things he promised to do and to become more consistent. So if that's your preferred direction, take a look at the website, aclu.org. I also understand, law students, that there has been an ACLU chapter at the University of Pittsburgh Law School, but that there really isn't a very active one now. I'd sure love to see one of you take up the cudgels and fix that. We have great people from the Pittsburgh chapter, some of whom were here today, Barb Fega, the executive director, and Vic Walczak, the fabulous legal director. So get in touch with them, get in touch with me. I would love to see more of an ACLU presence if this it resonates with some of you, and it's been a pleasure to meet you all. Thanks.
Devin?
Also, you can vote. That's another thing
Yeah,
you
you
can
can
do if
vote.
you don't like Obama's policies.
Absolutely.
November's coming up.
Thank you, Andrew. And I don't know, Professor Adicott, you have a center. Would you like to pitch your
Yeah, I mean,
your
I've
newsletter?
got a Center for Terrorism Law. If you go to our website, you can just Google Center for Terrorism Law. I should have patented the term terrorism law because I think I was the one that developed it in 2001 when I started our center. Today, you Google it, thousands of things pop up, but it's all the legal issues associated with terrorism. We have conferences, debates, and you can go to our website. If you want to get on our propaganda mailing list, you can give me your card or give me your email. We'll put you on the list. It's all good propaganda.
Well, let's hear it again for our speakers.
I'm glad you sat down. because
Now,
I just had
before
to
we
insert
conclude,
that.
I would like to present
Kind.
both of them with small tokens of our appreciation.
Thank you, Devin.
Thanks, Devin.
And let me say, all the people connected with the jurists have been marvelous hosts.
Yes. I tell my law
Devin
students all the
and Andrew.
time, we use their site. It's a great, and Professor Hibbets is doing a fantastic job. Congratulations to you, sir. This is a great forum and outlet for debate, discussion, and I wish you continued success.
Oh, beautiful.
Well, thank you again. I would again just like to thank our speakers and our audience. I think it's been a tremendous debate. So thank you.
It probably looks like that.
Yeah.